Talk to us about the timeline on your foot. There's been a lot of speculation and when you were hurt. Were you hurt on a play in the game yesterday when you were trying to defend it? It was a long pass and you had a player behind you and a player, Morcell, coming up. Was that the play where you hurt yourself?
Uh, no, that was the play I re-aggravated it. I've had foot issues kind of halfway through the season that I've been battling. Um, but like I said, I've never had a stress fracture, so I feel like I've been playing on it for like the last 4 to 5 maybe, but I wasn't as bad as it was. That play did re-aggravate it, and it could have pushed it to another level, but nah, it's not something that just happened one day. Obviously, a stress fracture is an injury that happens over time, and it was something that I was just battling, and we were rehabbing.
Next question is from John Nio of the Detroit News.
Yeah, Isaiah, what has Alex told you about the possibility of you playing in the tournament? And I guess what is the rehab plan like for you? I mean, what do you have to do to try to, if that's possible?
Yeah, me and Alex, since it was so sudden yesterday, we haven't got the chance to even discuss any type of returning date. We're just focusing on each day and trying to rehab it as best as possible. I know they put me in a boot, which is comfortable. It keeps me off my foot. Can reduce time, but he says it's one of those things where you just gotta further evaluate, and each day, like each week, you gotta figure out what's going on with it. But yeah, that's it.
Can you explain what this last 24 hours has been like emotionally with that news?
Yeah, it was awful, honestly. Just kind of like thinking about when I first stepped on campus, and then to now, I kind of feel like I'm in this same situation. Ironically, last year the NCAA tournament was announced that it was canceled, and Big Ten obviously wasn't going to further plan any games, and it's just sucked. I kind of felt like Xavier Simpson and John Teskey, how their season got short last year around this time, and you just hate to see it, but I got a leader named Coach Howard, Jawan Howard, who really helped me. Once I got the news, he was the first person I talked to on the phone, and it just says a lot about his character. He was there for me. He understood, and it was just, I don't know, it was comforting, especially hearing his voice. I had no words, but he did all the talking for me. I didn't have to speak, so that helped. And I got to talk to my parents, my family, most importantly, and that really helped me get through it. And then the best thing about it is we had a game the next day, so I already knew I had to put myself aside, and start thinking about my team. And we did our best today, and we fought really hard.
We got time for a couple more with Isaiah. We'll go first with Orion Sang from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Isaiah. You guys had a recent stretch where you played 6 games in 14 days. I was curious if you had the foot issues crop up before that stretch or if they happened during that stretch. You mentioned you've been dealing with it for a bit now.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I had a foot injury back. We played Maryland the first time. That was the first time I noticed it, and then it lingered on a little bit. I honestly, my dad actually reminded me of this. I forgot all about it. I came down on Austin in the Illinois game, and I came out. I went back in, but I didn't really notice anything different about it. But like I said, it's something that builds up over time. The doctor was explaining, and it's just one of those things. He said it was one of those rare kind of injuries, especially on the outside of your like toe/foot. And when he told me that, it was just like, yeah, I couldn't have done anything about it. Like I said before, I've never had a stress fracture. I didn't know the feeling. If I didn't know the feeling, I'd have sat my butt down. But you can't go back and do anything about it. All I can do right now is be a leader that this team needs.
We'll take one final question from Andrew Kahn.
It is two, if you don't mind, Tom, but the first one's real quick. The Maryland game, the first time you played them on New Year's Eve, is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah.
And then I know it's a tough question, but I mean, have you considered the fact that your Michigan career could be over? I mean, obviously, we don't know how many games are left, so has that crossed your mind?
Yeah, that was the instant thought I had. Very emotional evening yesterday for me and my family, my teammates, my brothers, because you could just kind of tell. I can tell by just walking on it right now. That thought did cross my mind, but you never know. In this world, there's full of possibilities. You never know. I could be back out there. I don't want people to write me off yet. I'm still gonna rehab and work my butt off to get back with this team because I know we're gonna make a run, and I want to be there for it.